All right, guys, I'm back. And guess what? I came back with some pretty exciting news. So, if you guys are familiar with digital decorating, I've got something new here from AtmosFx. For those of you who are familiar with AtmosFx, they are a company that is specialized in digital decorating for projection mapping. So if you're a home haunter or even a pro haunter, you've probably seen some of their decorations at some of these events that you've been to. Well, today, guess what? I had the special privilege to be able to debut one of their new decorations. So we're going to get into that and check it out. So see you soon. All right, so it's been a minute since I've reviewed an Atmos decoration. If you guys go into the library, you can see some of actually one of the older videos I did on one of their older collections, but today we're here to talk about their new collection, Nightmares. And we're gonna take a look at this together, and I'm gonna give you my honest feedback on everything I see here, but I am super excited to bring these to you. So I hope you enjoy these. And let's talk a little bit about digital decorating. When you get into the land of digital decorating, there's a lot of options that you can get into. One of the ones that's very, very popular right now, and it's really starting to pick up and sensationalize, is projection mapping. You've probably seen this done where somebody takes you need to have a very good projector to do this, something I'd say probably 3,500 to higher, really preferably in the 4,000 lumen count, which normally those are going to be pretty pricey projectors to pull that off to where you can get your whole house mapped out. And normally you have to run some computer software. There are a few different programs you can get into that will basically outline your house. You work with the projector and it gets a rough, measurement of your home so you can project very cleanly onto that. And there are also some ones that are really neat now, some of these new AI bots that you can plug right into your projector and it does everything for you. So that's one of the options that you have when it comes to digital decorating. One of my personal favorites, being a home haunter, we do a trail and we try to do a lot of themed elements in that trail. So one of the things is we try to use those projections as a way to add on to the decorations we have. A lot of times we'll do the window projections, which are pretty easy, but you know what? They're good. They always get a wow from the crowd. So we always love using the window projections because you can do so many different things with that. But this year, we really want to try to work on getting some of the elements into our trail. You'll see some home haunters do a very good job of projecting on a tombstones, or one of the famous ones you've probably seen a lot of people do this, where they do the portal. Where they build kind of a framework with insignias all around, and they'll put in a piece of material, mostly like chiffon, or if you're on the Atmos website, you can get what they call Halloeen material, which allows you to project from the rear and it looks like it's free floating. But there's so many different ways to digitally decorate. With that being said, we're going to take a look at some of the decorations that Atmos has in this new Nightmare collection. I'm super excited and I hope you are too. So we're going to take a look at some of these and see what they offer. All right, without any more ado, let's get into it. All right. So that first animation was called Smiley. I tell you one thing that jumps out right out of the box is that Atmos pulled their teeth out on this one. This one is very creepy. Is very creepy, and it is definitely not as whimsical as some of the stuff they've had in the past, which for some is going to be very exciting, and for others it may be, you know, maybe a little bit too much. But I'm gonna tell you, for this guy right here, I'm pretty excited. I think this will fit very well into our theme. So selfishly, I really like this. Super creepy. I want to know what you guys think. So this is just our first one, Smiley, right out of the box. What are your thoughts? Drop a comment. Let me know what you think here. But this is our first one of the Nightmare series. And so far, I am not disappointed. I am super excited. And like I said, if you're looking for something creepy, this is definitely checking all the boxes as far as I'm concerned. All right, so let's get into the next one here and let's see what else we have in this collection here. And we'll get right back to it in a few. All right. Oh man, wow. This one was called the Necromancer. I did see in the very first animation a little bit of AI overload to a certain degree, but once again, I love this because from my standpoint, we are a big fan of witches because they play a big part of our narrative, and this Necromancer has that witchy vibe, and I could see myself having plans for this. Once again, very creepy. I love those menacing moments where you see the darkness and just see the glow of the eyes and the creatures approaching. You'll see that. That's a trademark with a lot of the Atmos decorations, and I love it because it just gives you that creepy vibe. If you've ever seen their animation of the little girl twins, there's one where they're walking up, same effect, where you just see the glow of their eyes and then they slowly come into focus. But I like this one. I still right now, so far, like Smiley the most. Smiley really rocked my world. I really dug him. So we're going to look further and see what else they have in the game plan here for us here with this Nightmare series. But so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Right now, I got Smiley ranked number 1. I definitely want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what your thoughts are on these. But this is exciting, and this just gets me pumped for Halloween. If any of you are out there are home hunters, decorators, or if you're pro hunters, builders, whatever it may be, are you getting jazzed right now? Are you pumped right now for this season? So many plans. I am just praying that the weather will work with us this year and that we'll have a good year and can really enjoy a great Halloween season. But this is getting me pumped. Let's get into the next one. Okay, so that next one was Dollface. Man, I love this one, man. Creepy vibes. I really dug this. I love the effect on the last one where you clearly see he's being puppeteered in the strings, and all of a sudden the strings fall and he's still moving. Love that effect. Atmos has really they have pulled up to the big boy table, and this is stuff that could be in pro haunts. This could be in your more mature haunts that are really not for kids. Although Atmos already had some things like this in their decoration collection already, this collection is really like creepy. It really is, and I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing so far. So right now, I still like Smiley the best, but I think Dollface has moved into second place for me. I still like the Necromancer, but these are my tops right now. So, so far, just based on these two alone, or these three, I'll say, I definitely would say this collection is definitely worthy of having. The entire collection, I'll go into that at the end and show you everything that's involved in it, but you get quite a bit for $45, and I'd say it's well worth it. You got a lot of stuff to work with and a lot of stuff you can do, but enough talking. I know you're like, Dave, shut up, what else you got? All right, here we go, let's get into it. All right, we made it through another one. And are you disgusted? Are you grossed out? Because I am, but that's a good thing. Bone Spider. This one was the Bone Spider. While definitely, once again, I see some very heavy elements of AI. Obviously, those aren't my favorite things to see. I still see some very good uses for this particular one, especially if you're doing a spider tunnel or you're doing anything with spider webs or big spiders. This definitely will play into, and if you really want the effect of giving people the heebie-jeebies, this is going to creep people out. I mean, they're going to be wiping their arms because they're going to be feeling stuff crawling on them after seeing this. This one is definitely disturbing. It has that very disturbing feel to it. But I'm going to rank this one in the fourth place right off the bat here. So far, my tops are going to be Smiley. I forgot the name of the doll because I'm an old guy and I forget, but you know what I'm talking about. And then the Necromancer, and the Bone Spider is in fourth place. And if something better comes, it may move in front of it, because I feel like this one is definitely more of a niche and is definitely more something that you would need to use in a specific situation for it to be effective. But once again, so far, this has been an awesome collection here from Atmos. This Nightmare collection does not disappoint. And also, just so you know, they have another one, and I believe it's Apparitions 4. I believe Apparitions 4 is out. So I'm going to also at some point try to get my hands on that and give you a little more to look at with that one too as well. But let's get more into nightmares. We got more to go here. So we're going to show you some more. So strap in and let's check out the next one. Okay, what did I just watch there? So I'm going to try to pronounce this. You'll see the name pop up on the screen here. Homunculus. I believe I pronounced that right. I hope I did. Hopefully I didn't slaughter that. I can't even say it. Homunculus. The pronunciation is a lot like watching it. Very uncomfortable. Wow, this one was wild. Very freaky. It definitely had some freak show vibes to it, but just kind of disgusting, right? You know what I mean? But definitely, I see its uses here. Man, yeah, this could be some PTSD type stuff right here, man. Homunculus. Wow. I don't think the name does it justice. It's pretty sick. But it was fun to watch. Definitely the split apart was pretty wild. That was pretty wild. So what are your thoughts here? I'd love to see where you guys are ranking some of these. And how do you feel about these next to some of the older AtmosFx decorations? I feel like this was definitely a need for them to have a heavy side. I didn't think they really had that before. And I think this definitely gives them that really heavy, darker side that wasn't there before. So hats off, because I know a lot of times companies are scared to do things like this. So I'm glad they are. And so you'll probably be, this is stuff that could have been on the Transworld floor. But anyway, that's what I think. So far, I'm going to push that ahead of the Bone Spider. So the Bone Spider's falling into last place here. Not that I don't love it. Just like I said, I feel like it is a lot more one-dimensional than the other things we've seen here. But what are your thoughts? Let me know what your ranking is. And we're going to look at one more here, and we're going to finalize, and we'll take a look at what you can do if you like these. If it's your first time seeing AtmosFx, I will walk you through where to go, how to order them. It's fairly easy. Once again, this is a digital download, so a lot of times you're just downloading a file. You can move that onto a flash drive. You can do a lot of things. There's so many different ways to process this, so we'll get into that, but let's check out one more. I hope you guys haven't gotten tired on me, because there's one more to get through here, and let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that last one was called the Abomination. Wow. Once again, Atmos really has gone a different direction here. And it'll be interesting to see what they do with Apparition. I believe it's Ghostly Apparitions 4. I really will be interested to see how that collection looks. Because this is something they've really not done before. This is kind of, you know, this is new territory for them. And I've been using Atmos for probably about 6-7 years now. So this is definitely something I haven't seen before, and I like it. I like it. If there's only one thing I'd say is probably to turn down some of the AI effect. Some of it may be overblown in some areas, but outside of that, I think this is definitely a whole new level of creepy projections. If you're doing any kind of projection, this is definitely going to have an effect. Let me tell you, I'm going to stop and tell you that right now. This is going to have an effect. If you're running any kind of a haunt, home haunt, pro haunt, whatever it may be, even if it's just a show, and your aim is to make people uncomfortable or creep them out or freak them out or scare them, these will accomplish this for you. So let me be clear in saying that, because right now I am really excited about how I'm going to unleash this collection on the victims that walk through our haunts this year. So I'm really excited about it. If I was to rank this one, the Abomination, I definitely will say this is probably second to last, with the Bone Spider being dead last. Once again, my ranking hasn't changed. You know, Smiley at the top, our toy doll at the second one, and then after that, I'm gonna go into the what was the name? Why can I not remember? Guys, don't get old. You know, when you start seeing these grays, you're gonna start forgetting stuff. The witch, I want to call it the Necromancer. The Necromancer was third, and then I'm going to throw in Homunculus. Boy, say that 6 times fast. Homunculus. And then we'll get into Abomination and then the Bone Spider. But you guys may have a different opinion, so let me know what those are. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. And like I said, I'm hoping at some point as we get closer to spooky season or the official October, I'll get a chance to show you how I'm going to use these things, and we'll get to do a walkthrough and show you how they were displayed. So looking forward to that. But if this is your first time, like I said, if you've never heard of Atmos before, or even if you have, let me show you how to access these and where you go to get them so you can take advantage. There is an extensive library. There's a lot more to look at. So if nightmares isn't your thing, there's other stuff. If you want something a little more lighthearted, whimsical, they've got tons of that. A crowd favorite is the Boo Crew. People love that. And if you've ever seen the Singing Pumpkins, that's AtmosFx too as well. So they've got a little bit of something for everybody. If you want something super dark and macabre, they've got that. If you want something that's super lighthearted and whimsy, they've got that too. If you're looking for something in between both, they've got that too. So there's an extensive collection. So I'm going to take a little bit of a moment to show you where to go and show you what they have in the library. And then we're going to go ahead and sign off from there. But hang with me and we'll get into how, what, and when. Okay. So the first thing you want to do, as you can see here, is you want to go to AtmosFx.com. As you can see that's https www.atmosfx.com. Let's go ahead and click on there and go into their site here. And here you can see they've got a lot of different decorations. They got stuff for everything here. They've got all the holidays, but let's go into the menu so you can see, we can get to what we're looking for here. Shop decorations. And you'll see they've got all kind of holidays. They've got, well, I'm gonna kind of scope my screen here because it's not allowing me. But here you can see they've got all of your holidays, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's, springtime. They've got all these things here. But we are looking for one thing in particular. We're looking at Halloween. So let's go into that. So here we are at Halloween, and we just got through looking at nightmares. You can see nightmares, $45. And I want to go into what you get with that collection so you know a little bit more. So let's click on that. So when we go into nightmares here, you can see what all is included. You get a few different things, a couple of different formats. One is horizontal, one is vertical. You have a window, you have a hallusion, And I'll go more into what those mean. Display modes, as you can see here, TV monitor, wall, window, Hallusion, or decorating disc. And I'll explain those in a minute. But let's just take a look at what all you get here. You get all the different parts of the collection here. We looked at all of these. Abomination, you get a few different animations from him, as we saw a few. I won't go into all of that, but all the, I can't talk. All of the animations you saw come with that particular one. You've got the bone spider, all those animations come with that. And then you've got Dollface, all the animations that came with that. And then Homunculus, I want to say Homunculus, that is not what it is, it's Homunculus. Same thing. Now, all of these come in the different formats here. So not only are you getting all of the different animations, but you're getting all the different formats. Some will be vertical, some will be horizontal. And the decorating disc is kind of like a orb-shaped piece of cloth that you can project on, like a moon or something like that. I can't see those being super useful for any of these in particular. Those are usually good when you're doing the moon projections, like the Halloeen moon and some of the other things I've seen. Hallusion, what that is if you wanted to suspend something out in the open, there is a material called Hallusion material. It's pretty pricey on the AtmosFx website, but Hallusion material is kind of dark. It's almost like a dark gray charcoal type look, and at nighttime it's barely visible, so you can project onto that and give the illusion that something is right out there in free floating space. And you can use it as a popular way to use it is like in doorways or in different rooms. That way you have a really natural look. But I've seen a lot of people make portals. I've seen people do graveyard arches where they've had the Hallusion material hanging between those and project it to them. So there's that. Windows, pretty self-explanatory. The window, you can definitely get, one of the best ways to do that is go to any store like Walmart or Target or whatever, probably preferably Walmart, and you can get frosted shower curtains. Regular white frosted shower curtains. Those work the best. You'll see the clear ones, but those aren't great. The frosted white ones work the best, and you can just put them up in your windows and just make sure the material's taut. Now, the Hallusion material, one thing I want to drop in is that if you want a cheaper way to go about that and not get the Hallusion material, you can get the material called chiffon. And I highly recommend gray chiffon. It comes in different colors, but you want the gray, and you can get that through Amazon. You can't go to Joann's anymore, but those are a few options that may be cheaper if you want to do that, and you may be able to get a little bit more. So just for food for thought. Wall is self-explanatory. Wall, you project right onto the wall, so you can do that. One of the ones that's popular with that is, I don't know if you guys remember, but there's one where it looks like a spotlight and you see it looks like the wall is moving with souls in it. It's a very popular one, and that one's a really good for projecting on a wall. But anyway, you may not know what I'm talking about, and I apologize if I'm not clear. And then there's TV monitor. Like if you are doing, any kind of a queue line and you want to put stuff on monitors while people are in the queue line, you can use that TV monitor. But each one of these has all of those options. So for 45 bucks, or you can buy these a la carte, just $10 each. So if you really liked what you saw, this is definitely a great collection. I highly recommend it, but I'll quickly walk you through some of the other options you have. Like I said, Ghostly Apparitions 4. Hopefully I'll get a chance to show you guys a closer look at that. That's available. Like I said, they do have whimsy stuff, so you got Gordy's Halloween sing-along for the little guys. Legends of the Scarecrow. This one is also very cool if you're doing kind of farm and, cornfield type, which we do. But this one's cool, a little more whimsical than what we just saw, but still cool. Jack-o'-lantern Jamboree is a popular one. The Season of the Witch is very cool. You've got a lot of stuff to choose from. They've even got Legends of Halloween is very cool. I did a video on that, so you can check that out. If you like this one, go check out the Legends of Halloween. I broke that down. It's a little bit longer of a video, but still you can get to see some very cool, very, very cool animations and creatures that I really like. And then you've got backgrounds like Ghostly Mansion and Crypt of Creeps. So these are like perfect for home projection. You know, if you're doing any kind of projection mapping on your home, these two are great for that. But this is AtmosFx, guys. Go check it out for yourself. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you get some great ideas for what you're going to do this Halloween season. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you next spooky event. Bye-bye.